In this daily drop, I'm going to talk a little bit about redundancy and some of my thoughts on the subject. So let's go. All right, everybody, here we are with the last episode of the week, and I am about to head out the door for another day of production. It's going to be a very weird few weeks for me because I've not only got production happening pretty much every day, but I'm then going out on the road largely for family stuff, but the daily drop and everything else I do keeps moving forward. So what that's going to look like, I'm not quite sure right now, but because I'm in production pretty much day after day right now, I wanted to talk a little bit about redundancy. And that's the idea of having essentially a backup of what it is that you're using or that you're backing up to. I actually have right in front of me a couple of hard drives, and these are being used on the project I'm working on right now. And the idea of redundancy here is that you're shooting to cards. All the money, by the way, is on these devices. And then you're backing up to usually a primary or a master drive and then some sort of backup drive. And that redundancy, especially if these live in two different places, means a pretty good chance, or there's a pretty good chance that your stuff is going to be protected. But the idea of redundancy, I think, goes well beyond that, and it can become a little bit of a rabbit hole, which I'll talk about. But at the very least, I can't tell you how many times I've been on a project where a cable has gone bad. So the infamous mini and micro HDMI cables break. Redundancy is so important for any part of the chain of your production where you really rely upon a particular piece of kit or equipment. So if that cable is running from a camera to either some sort of switcher or to a video village, you need to make sure you have at least two of those, because if one fails and you have a client who's expecting to see picture there, then you better have a backup. And that is true for things like USB-C power delivery cables and power bricks. Anything that has the potential to fail, it's a good idea to consider having redundancy. Now, it can get ridiculous because you can't say that if you have a 2-camera setup with a certain lens package that you need to have redundancy for that. But you might want to have a second Very-ND filter if you are using a particular lens on a project and really relying upon that kit. So all I'm saying is redundancy has to do with peace of mind, but also when you're on a production, the idea that if a piece of equipment fails, that you're not going to be put in a position, especially with the client present, where there's going to be a problem. Hope that makes sense. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.